the impact.
Oh, right on the arm.
Not good. This is it.
Fighting for survival. Going to the top, high risk.
He paid for that one. Oh, man, big time. This might be it.
Oh, my.
A knee drop.
I don't like the look in his eye here, folks.
And he misses the mark.
Talk about a rough.
Looking at it here. He's starting to show signs of fatigue. He's going to want to make sure this doesn't snowball out of control.
I know it's early, but he has to do everything in his power not to let this get out of hand.
Face buster. Here it comes. He's got him.
See if he takes the bait.
Absolutely has to get back in the ring.
There's no way around it.
Oh, come on. Don't have it end like this.
Singles action is underway, and in this one, I wouldn't attempt to predict what's going to happen. I'd just be ready for anything. Sometimes that's all you can do.
When I looked at the card for tonight, this one definitely stood out as one you don't want to miss.
Boom! Oh, a knee right to the face.
Looking for the exclamation point. Back and forth we go.
That'll give you whiplash. Boom, what impact.
Looking for the win. Fighting for survival.
Nailed it. Beautiful technique. Harsh impact.
Oh, nobody controls the pace of a match quite like this guy.
Uh-oh. Northern Lights.
Oh, not done yet. There's more.
Brainbuster.
Okay, now it's over. I'm not sure how much he has left. It might be cliche, but it's true here. It ain't over till it's over.
When this guy's on, look out.
Oh, man, what a strike.
He's going for it all. Look at this. Look out. Look.
Man, a little extra luster behind that kick.
That could be it, guys.
Quick thinking to avoid that one. We've seen this before. Battling to get the upper hand. Near a count out here, Corey.
It would be a shame if this ends in a count out, Cole.
Back in the ring now. As a reminder, this is an Extreme Rules match, a type of match made popular by ECW back in the 1990s. He's making a statement here with this attack. Gonna have to get back in the ring here, guys.
Running out of time.
Uh-oh. Northern Lights.
Oh, not done yet. There's more.
Down with a brain buster. That'll scramble your brain.
He's back in control here.
Going for the big one. Oh, chin-breaking uppercut. How much more punishment needs to be owed?
I knew it was only a matter of time.
Uh-oh, double underhook. This is going to be nasty.
Ooh, what impact. Game, set, match. This one is over.
Oh, man, that's put so many competitors away.
This is going to be big, one way or another. Whoa! He could do it here. There's the pinfall and the victory.
Making his way to the ring from New York,
You can feel the electricity running through this arena. This is going to be some battle, one-on-one, mano-a-mano.
And there are few things more unforgiving than the cold steel of a cage match.
Schoolboy out of nowhere. You're not going to win many matches that easily. Still too fresh. Bang! Hooked up. Ring rattling. Point of the elbow, nailed it. Uh-oh. You gotta believe this one's over. Boom! Boom, impact.
The WWE Universe has seen the evolution of the steel cage in the enclosure known today as Hell in a Cell. The first time an enclosed cage was seen was in October of 1983 in the last Battle of Atlanta. The enclosed cage was seen a few years later in the War Games match from the NWA. There were even cages stacked on top of each other like WCW's Tower of Doom.
Byron, when we talk about the progression of steel cage matches and the type of structures that have been spawned from them, I need to point out that some cages have been electrified. One was made from bamboo in the form of a Punjabi prison match. And of course, the Elimination Chamber with glass pods and steel doors.
And today we have the Asylum match, where weapons are on top of the cage. Just goes to show you that times may change, but the objective to destroy an opponent remains the same. There's still no better way to settle a score than to do battle with your adversary inside a steel cage.
Uh-oh, crucifix. Crucifix. Is that enough for the win? An easy kick out there. Remarkable.
Oh boy, he is rolling.
Oh. Looks to me like the gas tank is at about halfway. You want to make sure it doesn't get close enough to E, though. That's for sure. This is what makes him one. Beautiful technique. Nice. Shut it down. The shoulders are down. Digging deep for a kick out. Too early in the match to end it. And this has just been a hellacious match inside this Hell in a Cell. This capacity crowd starting to sense the end is near, and I don't disagree. Yeah, things look bleak right now.
The rivalry between Ultimate Warrior and Ravishing Rick Rude began during the Super Pose Down at the 1989 Royal Rumble. Then it progressed to where both superstars battled over the Intercontinental Championship. At SummerSlam 90, the rivals met inside a 15-foot-high steel cage for the WWE Championship. Victory could be achieved by pinfall or escape from the cage.
Corey, the WWE Championship match between the Ultimate Warrior and Ravishing Rick Rude was the second half of the double main event at 1990 SummerSlam. The rivalry between the Warrior and the Ravishing One was so heated that no one knew what to expect once the two men were able to battle inside a steel cage, which at the time was the most grueling match in all of WWE.
The Ultimate Warrior dominated early on with his incredible strength. Rick Rude turned the tables and used the steel surroundings to his advantage. At one point, Rude dove from the top of the cage onto the Warrior. But after the Warrior's signature Gorilla Press Slam, the Ultimate One climbed over the cage and retained his WWE Championship. Oh boy, he is rolling.
Jaw-shattering boot.
Uh-oh, here we go, here we go.
Boy, this has just been pandemonium.
Styles clash.
And there, cover here. 1, 2, 3.
This steel cage match is in the books.
Steel cage action kicking off here, guys.
And there are few things more unforgiving than the cold steel of a cage match.
Ooh, what impact.
Oh, nasty impact. Nailed it. This might be it.
Oh my.
Harsh impact. Oh, right to the back. Elbow right to the back of the neck.
Oof.
DDT. Oh, scolded him.
I thought that was it.
Not yet.
Ooh, what impact.
Oh boy, he is rolling.
This might be it.
Oh my.
We've got to cover. And an early kick out.
Too soon. Oh, look at it. Setting him up in position here on the second DDT.
Before 2017's Extreme Rules, there were just 3 previous tag team matches where championship gold was decided inside a steel cage in the history of WWE special events. The Hardy Boys were in 2 of those matches. At Extreme Rules, in order to win the match, both members of a team had to exit the cage and have both feet on the floor.
The Hardys used their famous continuity to gain the early advantage until Cesaro and Sheamus utilized their devastating power to slow the pace of the match down. Both teams battled atop the steel cage, but in the end, Sheamus going for broke.
Looking vulnerable now, guys.
This is a bad situation.
Reverses that one. Here we go a second time. No, reverses it.
The best way to describe combatants clashing inside a steel cage is its battle of attrition. Sometimes a superstar is left with no choice but to fight fire with fire and do whatever.
Oh no, we know what this is.
I think we're about to see it.
I can't wait, I love this. Step slam down hard. Wow, this could do it.
Byron, you touched on this earlier, but it's so important for a superstar to accept that there's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide in a steel cage match. That the conflict will be resolved within the 15-foot-high steel walls that surround the ring. And that losing a cage match can mean much more than a mark in the loss column. For some, it has meant the end of their career.
It's difficult to describe the damage that can be done to a superstar who competes in a steel cage match. We see the physical harm, but we don't see the psychological effects from being inside the cage. Make no mistake about it, Michael. The steel cage truly represents survival of the fittest. There's a certain feeling that comes over the combatants in a steel cage match once they hear the door close and see the official lock it. A superstar must know that their body is going to be thrown against the steel, that their face will most likely be raked across the cage, and that anything is legal in this environment.
Nailed it.
You spoke about this earlier, Corey. It's crucial for a WWE superstar to fully understand the gravity of the situation they're in when they battle inside a 15-foot-high steel cage. An individual must be ready to endure pure brutality and be prepared for the fight of their life. No one leaves a steel cage match without scars.
Corey, you said something of value for once, and that anything is legal inside the steel cage. To that point, something else we've seen over the years is interference. Whether it's The Undertaker coming up through the ring or John Cena getting bashed in the head with the cage door from the outside, it's all legal in the cage. Slammed with authority. The steel cage is a massive enclosure that stands 15 feet in height. For almost 35 years, a select group of high flyers have taken their aerial assaults to greater heights. And when I say that, I mean superstars climb to the top of the steel cage, the real high-rent district, and dive off onto their opponent. And that all started with one man in October of 1983, Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
To your point earlier, Byron, we've definitely seen some unbelievable attacks be launched from the top of the steel cage. And you mentioned the most iconic, the steel cage match for the Intercontinental Championship that saw Jimmy Superfly Snuka clash against bitter rival, the magnificent Morocco.
There's no denying that Superfly set the bar. You look over the years to people like Jeff and Matt Hardy, Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, and Chris Jericho. They continued to push the envelope and executed unbelievable attacks from the top of the cage. And watch Rikishi take flight off the top of the steel cage. Wow. According to historians, the twisted metal that we see as part of steel cages today dates back 80 years. To settle a dispute between competitors Jack Bloomfield and Count Pietro Rossi, the two met inside a ring surrounded by chicken wire. At first,
That's it. The match is over.